Basi sasa kijana ameamka, ikiwa tunaimba wimbo wa kitamaduni, akicheza kuonyesha kwamba ako barubaru.
At the Odinga homestead in Bondo, relatives and elders began to arrive early today. Sorry.
Want Junior you to take the leadership and take the mantle, and you will go through the ritual. It will start with some little savings. I know Mama Ida might not want to be saved, but Junior will do a little saving for you, and then after, and your wife, after that little saving is done, then you are going to be given the necessary instruments of power, and you will display it, and then things will continue, and it will not be long. So this is what one of the grandmothers.
There was silence in the air, a kind of sacred calm. This was not just another ceremony. It was the continuation of our lineage, the transfer of leadership from one generation to the next, done the Luo way, through a ritual known as Liado. Liado, the ancient act of head shaving, marks the beginning of mourning and the beginning of new responsibility. And then the moment came. Raila'S Jr. sat before his grandmother. The crowd fell silent. Only the sound of the wind, the song of birds, and the beating of one's heart could be heard. With quiet hands and deep emotion, the family matriarch picked up her razor blade. She whispered a few words that have been spoken for generations, and with that, she began to shave his head. Each stroke of the blade was more than a cut. It was a message of renewal, of leadership, and of continuity. A grandmother installing her grandson as the new head of the Odinga family. In Luo tradition, this ritual is sacred. When a father passes away, his son must shave their heads 4 days after burial. It is believed that this act cleanses the spirit, chases away death's shadow, and welcomes a new life.
We want Junior you to take the leadership and take the mantle, and you will go through the ritual. It will start with some little savings. I know Mama Ida might not want to be saved, but Junior will do a little saving for you, and then after, and your wife, after that little saving is done, then you are going to be given the necessary instruments of power.
But it is also a symbol that the son has accepted his new role as a leader of the homestead. It is not just about mourning, it's about taking responsibility. And for Raila'S Odinga Jr., it was a deeply emotional moment. Those who were there say the silence in the compound was profound. You could feel the presence of generations past. It was as if the ancestors themselves were watching. Standing close by was his wife Wambui Kipkosia. Her quiet strength was unmistakable. Her presence reminded many that while men often carry titles, women anchor the spirit of her home. Together, they represented unity, the new phase of the Odinga family, carrying both modern grace and traditional respect. When the shaving was done, an elder stepped forward. In his hands, two ancient symbols, a spear and a shield. He handed them to Junior. The spear, a sign of strength and protection, and the shield, a mark of wisdom and guardianship. As he received them, the crowd murmured softly. The mantle had been passed. The new head of the family had been confirmed, not by election, but by tradition. Tears flowed freely, not just for the man they had lost, but for the heritage that lived on. Elders nodded in approval, young people watched in awe. And as the grandmother wiped her hands and stood, her face glowed with pride. She had done what her mother and grandmother before her had done, ensuring the circle of life remained unbroken. Across Siaya and indeed across Kenya, the moment sparked conversations. Some called it beautiful and reminded that in the rush of modern life, our roots still matter. Others called it powerful, proof that tradition and modernity can coexist. A local elder told one crew, hair grows again after it is cut. So does leadership when passed down correctly. And a young woman from Bondo said softly, it made me proud to be Luo again. Soon the video spread across Facebook, X, drawing millions of views. Many who watched said they felt something deeper, something we rarely see in today's world. It wasn't about fame, it wasn't about politics, it was about family, love, and the timeless bond between generations. As the sun set over Bondo, the ceremony drew to a close. The elders gathered around the new family head. They placed their hands on his shoulders and prayed, may you walk in your father's footsteps, may you protect his home, and may your children do the same to you one day. Then a small libation was poured on the ground, a final call to the ancestors to bless their son. That night, the fires at Opoda farm burned softly. Children laughed again. The family sat together, united by grief, but also by hope. In that glow, the image of a clean-shaven young man beside his grandmother told a powerful story, that even as the world changes, some values remain unshaken. Because Liedo, the head shaving is not about hair, it is about heritage. It's about the living and the dead, the old and the young, and the past and the future, all meeting in one sacred moment. This was not just the story of Raila Odinga Jr. It was the story of who we are as Kenyans, a people bound by culture, by respect, and by the belief that life continues through those we leave behind. And perhaps in that simple act of shaving a head, we are reminded that leadership, true leadership, begins at home.